Hello again there folks, Lone Adventurer here. Thanks very much for stumbling your way upon my channel and joining me for another adventure. And today I'm going to be playing through Mini Rogue. I am super excited to have got myself a copy of this game from Paolo di Stefano and Gabriel Gendron. I have already played the free 9-card version, which you can get yourself online and do as a little print and play project if you are so inclined. I'll include a link down in the description below to where you can get yourself a copy, or at least to my playthrough, maybe both, we'll see how I feel. And as soon as I played that, I knew that I wanted the full version of the game. Calling it the full version of the game, maybe overstating things a little bit, given the fact that it stays true to the mini in the title, and it is still a very compact little experience. But I got myself a copy of this on eBay, and it came with some expansion stuff. I have got the Old Gods expansion, the Glittering Treasure expansion, and the Depths of Damnation, which is the one that I really wanted, because this adds lore cards which create a sort of choose your own adventure narrative element to the game. But I'm not going to be playing with those today because I thought it would be a good idea to start with the base game. So that's what I'm going to do. It's a little bit different to the 9-card setup. We still have this sort of 9-card grid. I think it works a little bit differently, but it's made up from, I think, 27 or 28 base cards that you randomly select from. So I don't know what we've got here represented in our dungeon. In the 9-card version, you're always facing the same cards. You just don't know the order that you are facing them in. The full version of the game also adds characters. We've got the Crusader here. That's who we're going to be playing today. Let's see who else we've got. Where are the other cards? We've also got the Rogue, the Priestess, the Mage. I'm not sure what these cards are here for. Some additional combat thing that you can play with. What else have we got? We have got additional bosses. The 9-card version only had one boss. This game has the main boss, Og's Remains, and then 4 other bosses. And then you randomly select. So we've got a little pile of bosses that we're going to be playing with here. Again, I don't know what they are. We know that the bottom one is Og's Remains, but the other 3 are 3 of the other 4 in a random order. And that is pretty much it. I've also got these skill tree cards. Oh, that's on the back of the original board. So I've got my little character board here, which has inset locations to pop the cubes in. That's pretty cool. But I've also got the original ones as well. It came with all of them. On the back of these, we've got some skill trees. Don't really know how those work. I haven't discovered that in the rules yet. I'll get to that at some point. My plan is to do a playthrough today of the sort of basic version of the game, and then I'll come back in a few weeks or months, or hopefully not too long, in order to do an expanded version that uses the Depths of Damnation and maybe some other stuff as well. I am pretty excited about this game. It's a super fun little package and gives you quite a lot of variety when you add in the random organisation of the enemies, the characters, the random dungeon rooms that you encounter, and then the other bits and pieces that you can also get for this game. And there's more coming. There was a Kickstarter earlier this year which I just about managed to resist, but I'm hoping that some of that stuff gets to retail and I can bring that to the channel as well. We'll see how it goes. Let's get to it, shall we? We are playing as the Crusader today. The Crusader starts with 10 health, 1 armour and 4 rations, and has got 2 abilities. One we can use in combat and one we can use during general exploration. During combat we can apply twice the value of our armour as damage, so that's pretty cool, little bonus hit. I've used that already. And then we can also raise the armour value of our character by 1 for the next room. So I guess that could be helpful as well, although I haven't used that yet. And here we are. This is our character here. This is the first room we are going to experience. And as we make our way through this first area of the dungeon, we'll be making our way down here to the door. That will take us down to the next level. So when we get down to there, we'll go down to the next level. So when we get to area 2, we'll be facing a boss, one of the random bosses. Then we'll move down to floor 2. Then when we get there, we'll face another random boss. Then we'll keep going, another random boss. And then finally, when we get down, if we get down to the bottom, then we will face the big boss. And then over here, we've got an area to track the health of the enemies that we encounter. And over here, we've got our XP being tracked, our armor, our HP, which starts on 10, but I said that already, didn't I? Our rations, our food, our gold, which we start with none, and then a little area down here to track the various potions that you can get. Again, we have none of that. Up here, we've got 2 dice. We start with 1 hero die and the dungeon die. As we level up, we can add more hero dice. So I've got some extra ones over here. And if we get poisoned, we add the poison dice, and if we get cursed, we add the cursed dice. But we just need these 2 to get started. And I think it's about time to make a start. So here we go. So first up, we have a trap. So that's not a great start, really. Now, I'm not going to fully explain everything on all of the cards that we come across. I just want to get into it, and we'll explain the bits and pieces that we experience as and when we get to it. But this symbol here means we need to pass a skill test. So we'll be rolling our hero dice and our dungeon dice, and then if we fail the skill test, something bad will happen, and if we pass, something good will happen. So I'll just pop that on top of our little meeple there for a second while we do the skill test. So we will pass the skill test if we roll a 5 or a 6. That's what those little star symbols there symbolise. So here we go. And we have failed. Not a good start. So we've got a 4 on the dungeon dice. So if we go back to the card, we can see that we have been stuck in a thick web, which means we get -1 armor, and that little symbol I haven't come across yet. We'll have to look that one up, but it's not going to be good. It might be that this is a bad start. So we've lost our armor. That's awful. And what does that little symbol mean? That means blindness. So we only reveal a room once we have moved onto it. That's awful news. So ordinarily what we would do now is we would flip over these 2 cards and we would choose which one we want to go to. But now, because we are blind, we are going to be not doing that. I don't really know how I sort of record the fact that I'm blind. Oh, you have to lay your meeple on its side to remind us that we're blind. However, I've laid the meeple on the side anyway, so you can see it better in the video. I will just remember. Maybe. We can cure blindness with a perception potion, a holy potion, or a blessing. Right, so let's randomly go into this room, and it's a monster. We did not know that was going to happen because we are blind. So because we are in level 1, we are facing a giant spider. Because we're playing with 1 character, it will have 6 HP. If it hits us, we subtract 2 HP from our character, and we get 1 XP if we kill it. So we'll pop this up to 6, and we're going to roll our dice. So your hero always attacks first. Wow, this is going really badly. So that X there, I'm pretty sure, means we have failed to hit. Now we could do a re-roll by reducing our health. Is that worth doing? Because the thing is, the 4 means that the enemy has hit us. If we roll a 1 on the dungeon die during combat, the enemy misses. If we roll a 2, 3, 4 or 5, the enemy hits. And if we roll a 6, the enemy hits and ignores any armour that we've got. We haven't got any armour, but we've rolled a 4, which means the enemy is going to hit us. I think I'm just going to have to take that damage, go into another round of combat. This game isn't necessarily this brutal. That's more lucky. That is better. So we've rolled a 5 for our damage. So we're doing 5 points of damage to the enemy. And the 1 means the enemy has missed. So we can go into a third round of combat. And super lucky. Enemy has missed again. We've done another 5 points of damage. So that has killed the enemy. We get 1 XP. And we can carry on with the dungeon level. Let's go down here. Remember again, we're not looking because we are blind. Oh, that's good. So we've come to a moment of respite. What do we call those cards? These are bonfire cards. So these are cards where you can gain some respite and relax for a moment. I think we get to... Do we get to cure stuff here? No, we don't. If we'd have used our abilities, we get to reset, because those abilities can only be used once per level. Had we have used it, when we get to a bonfire card like this, we can reset and we can use that ability again. Now, on this particular card, we've got 3 options that we can choose from. We can get +1 XP, which I'm always tempted to do, +1 food, or +2 health. Now, it's good to get that XP up as quickly as possible, because if you get to 6 XP, you get an extra hero dice to roll. So I think I'm going to risk it. I'm tempted to put up my health, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put up my XP. We're going to take that gamble, and then we're going to move on down here into a damp cave. So the damp cave, we need to do a skill test. So these cards are called tomb cards. And the way these work is we will do a skill test. If we pass the skill test, we can increase or decrease the dungeon die by 1 in order to get something that we want. If we don't pass a skill test, then we just have to accept what we get. And looking at these, you can see that some of them are bad. If you find an hallucinogenic mushroom, you have to fight an enemy. That's what that little red symbol there means. If you get a beige cap, you lose 1 food. I think the other things are positive. Does that, the dotted cap, does that mean you get poisoned? I think it does. So that's bad as well. So this is somewhere where something bad could definitely happen. Here we go. That's bad. So we've failed the skill test. Remember, we would only pass that if we rolled a 5 or a 6. And we've rolled a 6, which means we've got a dotted cap. And I'm pretty sure that symbol there means that we're poisoned. Yep, we're poisoned, which means we add the poison dice to our rolls from now on. So this is pretty bad. I'm blind and poisoned in the first level. The last couple of games I've played of this have not been this unlucky. Okay, but we made it to the end of the level, and now we're going to be going down into the next level. So what we do is we reduce our food by 1. We move the level marker down by 1. Pop him up there. Then I'm going to collect up these cards and lay out another random set of cards. So we're going to put them in with these cards, and I'm going to shuffle them all together. So we might get those cards again, or we might get new cards. We just won't know. Okay, because we are on a level with a boss icon there, we're going to turn over to see who we're facing. We're going to be facing the ghoul. We'll talk a bit more about the ghoul when we get to facing him, if we get that far. And let's have a look at our first card here. We're straight in with a monster. All right, I had a little bit of a pause there, and we've come back the following day. It was instantaneous for you, but it's the following day for me. And it's colder today, hence wearing my gigantic fluffy hoodie thing. But let's carry on. We are on a new level, the second level of floor 1. We're going to be making our way to the ghoul. So let's do this. Our first card here is a monster. A mutant fly. If it damages us, we will lose 2 health points. And I think that symbol there, which you can't see, it's very small, means ignore armor. So the damage dealt will also ignore our armor. But we don't have any armor because our armor got destroyed. Did it get destroyed? I'm now not sure if it got destroyed or if it was another enemy that had that same effect and I just misinterpreted it. But that is the way it goes when you play over multiple days. I'm just going to have to suck it up and accept that my armour was destroyed. So this mutant fly has got 4 health. We'll also be rolling the poison die, of course, so we might lose more health here. That's looking pretty good to me. Oh no, well, we have lost health. Whatever poisoned us has continued to weigh heavily on our well-being. But we rolled a 5, so we did 5 damage to the fly, which means the fly does not have an opportunity to hit us back. Even if it had, it would have missed. And as a reward, we're going to get 2 gold, and then we can carry on. Let's go this way. Remember, we don't get to look because we are blind. So we've got a hunter here, and a hunter is a type of merchant. So we can purchase things from this merchant. So if we take a little look for the current floor number worth of coins, we're currently on floor 1, so for 1 coin we can get 1 ration, 1 food. Now for 2 coins we can, let me just remind myself what that is, we can get this is what we want, we can get a blessing, and a blessing cures poison, curses and blindness. So that is tremendous news. We don't need to look any further. We can't afford any of the other things anyway. We're going to spend our 2 gold to get that blessing, lose the poison effect that we've got on us, and also lose the blindness. And that is really good news because that means we can start to look at cards before we step onto them. So the way this works is we will always reveal the card below us and the card to the right of us, if there are cards in those locations. So that card there and this card here. So we've got 2 options. We've got an empty shelter, where we can go and potentially have some handy things happen. Or we've got a crow here, and that is an item that we can acquire. So we can go there and acquire the crow. So really the question is, are there any effects on the empty shelter that I like the look of? And the problem is, with this empty shelter, there is a risk that if we roll a 6, we have an enemy. If we roll a 5, we lose some health. And if we roll a 3, we lose some XP. Now the other things are beneficial, and I guess that means you go up to 10 health. I'm pretty sure that I haven't come across that before, but that must be what that means. So you get to rest in the empty shelter, you go up to 10 health, but then there's a risk that something bad happens. So maybe we should just go for the crow. So the way it works is we do one of 2 things. We can either pay 1 food and gain the card, or we can pay 1 gold coin. So I'm going to pay 1 food and gain the card. And this means we have 2 abilities, and we can only use 1 once. So we can either replace a revealed but unvisited card with a random card from the deck, or as we're doing the preparation of the dungeon, we can draw the first 2 cards and look at them and decide whether we use them or not. We will have the crow pay 1 food, and then we'll carry on. Now at this point we only have one option, which is to go down into this room here. It is a damp cave. We're going to roll our dice to do a skill check. We have passed the skill check, and that means that we can add or subtract 1 from the dungeon dice when we are deciding what we're going to do. And actually that's not going to help me that much. The 6 means we would be poisoned. Oh, actually, no, I'm telling a lie. I was looking that way and thinking that this was 5. But we can subtract 1 from the 6 as a result of our skill test. And subtracting 1, taking it down to 5, means we find a glowing cap, which will give us plus 2 XP. So that is a real score. That takes us up to 4 XP, meaning we are only 2 away from getting to level 2 and having that additional dice. A shame we don't have it already, because we're about to face the ghoul, which has a whopping 16 health. If the ghoul hits us, we lose 1 HP, but there's another effect here, and that is weaken. That's awful. I've had this before. So I'll show you the icon, which is quite small. There you go. This means weaken, which means whenever we are successfully hit by the ghoul, we lose 1 XP. So that is awful, really. And if we defeat the ghoul, we get 3 XP and some gold. So here we go. I'm going to just mention a thing called feats. 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 We may re-roll a character die once during combat by paying 1 XP or 2 HP. And then we have to accept the result of that. So we might be using that in our efforts to take this ghoul down, because this is going to take quite a few rounds of combat, and I'm worried this isn't going to go well for us. So we've rolled a 3. We're doing 3 damage. This is going to go very badly. So we could do a feat. Unfortunately, our abilities on the Crusader aren't going to do anything for us at all right now. I feel like it's not worth making a sacrifice for a re-roll when it'll be 50-50 that we would roll the same or less than what we've got already. So I guess we'll just hit for 3. The 5 means that the ghoul is hitting us successfully, so we will lose 1 HP and we will lose 1 XP, and we'll go into another round of combat. Oh, this is going to be a death by 1,000 ghoul bites by the looks of things. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, taking the ghoul down to 9 HP. We're going to lose another HP and another XP. Going to another round of combat. Oh my days, this is awful. 3 and 3. We are being hit again. We're going down to 4 HP and 1 XP. Alright. Oh, and did I do the 3 damage? I didn't, did I? And we're doing 3 points of damage, taking the ghoul down to 6. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am going to re-roll this time. I'm going to use an XP, because I'm going to lose it anyway, aren't I? Maybe I should have been doing that anyway. To re-roll the 2. And we've got a 5. That is better. Unfortunately, it's not killing the ghoul, so we are taking another point of health into our hopefully final round of combat. 4 and 2. So we're doing 4 points of damage, killing the ghoul, meaning the ghoul doesn't get an opportunity to attack us again. We're going to gain 3 XP, so we've ended up on, 1 less XP than we had. And we're gaining a gold. Okay, that could have been worse. That could have been worse. The ghoul is defeated, and we are going to go into the next level of the dungeon. So we're actually going down into floor 2. And that means we're going to be facing trickier enemies, but with greater reward as well. As we go down, we will be consuming a food, and then we're going to reset the dungeon that we've got here. So shall we use our crow is the question. And I think we will, actually. So we use the overview ability of the crow. After shuffling the dungeon deck, draw the first 2 cards and insert them back into the deck as you see fit. So we've got a damp cave and a hunter. We don't have any gold at the moment, and the damp cave is quite a risky place. Do you know what? I'm going to put them at the bottom. The crow, having done its work for us, is also going to go to the bottom of the deck. And then we're going to reset the dungeon with cards that are a complete mystery to us. But at least we don't have that damp cave again. And we're straight into a tomb. Incidentally, I do really like the minimalist artwork that Mini Rogue employs. Off the top of my head, I don't know who the illustrator is, but I think it's fantastic. I really like it. I like this little skull. I like this little rat. I like this little book. Okay, so in the tomb, we're going to be making a skill roll to see whether we can add or subtract 1 if we wish from the dungeon dice. And we've got a bunch of positive effects here. One negative effect is the rat swarm, which will eat one of our foods. We've only got 1 food. And we might encounter a ghost, which is a monster. So let's roll our dice. Ooh, brilliant. That is a pass. 6 is a success. We've rolled a 3. So we have got gold pieces, or we can change it to a ration, or we can change it to a codex, which gives us 1 XP. I always want to go for XP, so even though I'm aware we kind of need a ration, I'm going to risk it and go for the XP and get us 1 step closer to leveling up our character, which really is vital if you want to succeed in this game. Alright, so we've got a choice here between a monster and a monster. We can face a skeleton soldier, which has 9 HP and does 4 damage and gives 2 XP as a reward, or a goblin warrior, which has 9 XP, exactly the same, does 4 damage, and 2 as a reward. They're identical. Okay, so we will go there, set our monster tracker to 9, get straight to it, I guess. Oh, brilliant. We have done 6 damage. And in Mini Rogue, 6s explode. Actually, we haven't had much luck yet, have we? Because we haven't seen this happen. I don't think. I did start the video yesterday. But I don't think we've seen this happen. If you roll a 6 in combat, you can roll it again, add on the subsequent roll. 4. So we have done 10 points of damage. That is brilliant. That is the little stroke of luck that we needed. The monster, the goblin warrior, didn't even get a chance to hit us once, and we get a reward of 2 XP, taking us up to 6 XP and allowing us to go up a level, which means we can add in another hero dice, and now we are rolling 2. We're doing more damage. We have a greater likelihood at succeeding at skills. That's going to make a massive difference. So let's look at our next 2 options. We've got some treasure, lovely treasure, or a trap. I think it's going to be treasure, isn't it? So treasure cards, you get 1 gold automatically. And if you have defeated... Oh, does that mean if you've defeated 2 enemies? I think it does. Oh, that's a shame. The normal... There's a more basic treasure. And with the more basic treasure, if you have defeated 1 enemy, you get 2 gold coins. But this one is 2 enemies for 3 gold coins. So we only get the 1 gold coin. So we'll increase our gold to 2. And then we're going to roll a skill check. And if we succeed, we're going to get an item as well. So here we go. Remember, we've got 2 dice now, so we've got double the likelihood of succeeding. That 5 there means a success. A 5 or a 6 on a skill is a success. And the dungeon dice is a 3. And a 3 gives us 5 HP. That is fantastic. That is exactly what we needed. It feels like maybe our luck has turned a little bit. Let's keep going. And we've got a merchant. And we've got 2 golds. Only 2. So looking at the merchant here, for 5 we could have bought a point of armour or a potion. For 3 we could have bought 4 HP. It's a shame the merchant doesn't sell any food. Really, I don't feel like spending 1 of my gold coins on 1 HP, so we're not going to do anything there. We're going to finish this level and go on to the next one. So that means consuming our final food, going to the next level and resetting the dungeon. So let's move to the first new card. We've got some treasure. So we're only getting 1 gold from that because we haven't killed any enemies in this level yet. Then we're going to do our skill check. And we have passed. Fantastic. Which means we get whatever is shown next to the number on the dungeon dice. So that means a frost potion, which I guess we can use to damage enemies. And that is to refresh your skills. Which means if we'd used our skills, and to do so you have to flip your card over, you can refresh. So we don't need to do that. So we will have a frost potion. Just going to grab a little frosty cube. We'll worry about what that means when the time comes. Onwards, we've got a trap in that direction, and we've got a trap in this direction. Ooh. Now this trap here, the failures result in loss of XP quite a lot. This trap over here, this one, if you fail, you lose a food. This one, if you fail, you lose an armor. And this one, if you fail, you would lose health, I guess, equal to the level, the floor rather. And I guess you would gain poison as well. So it's all pretty brutal, really. Now, I'm not sure what happens if you have to lose food or armor and you don't have armor or food to lose. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, and I haven't seen it written anywhere. So I think we'll just say, if that happens, you don't lose anything. Okay, here we go. And we have failed and rolled a 6. Oh, awful. That's really awful. So we lose 2 HP and we gain poison from the trap from the pendulum. I guess, it had some stuff on it, and we've got infected on the pendulum which sliced us. We've got a hunter and we've got a bonfire. So if we go to the bonfire, we can gain food, which we probably should do because we're quite close. I'll tell you what, I forgot. We are in a boss monster level, so we should have flipped this up so we knew what we were going towards. We're going towards a giant spider. Doesn't change much, really. We're going to go down here. Oh, we've got a monster before we face the giant spider. That's pretty bad news. So a skeleton soldier with 9 HP. If it hits us, it does 4 damage. So if it hits us twice, we're dead. So let's go. Okay, so we rolled a miss on one of our dice and a 6 on the other one. Luckily, no poison. And obviously the 6 allows us to re-roll. And we re-roll to a 4, so we've done a total of 10, which means we have killed the monster. Fantastic. As a reward, we're getting 2 XP. And then we're going to go down and face the Spider Queen. Could be worse. 12 HP. Nope, that's not right. This is level 2, so it's 16 HP. If the spider hits us, we lose 4 health and we would become poisoned, but we're already poisoned, so there you go. Let's make a start. Oh, that's a bad start. That's a real bad start. So we're doing 2 damage here. I think I should sacrifice an XP to re-roll this dice. And we've got a 5, so that's a bit better. We've done 7 points of damage, taking the Spider Queen down to 9. But the 5 means that we are being hit by the Spider Queen. So that's 4 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4 takes us down to 2 HP. I don't think we're going to get out of this alive. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so I'm going to... Now, when we do this feat, I think it only allows us to re-roll 1 dice, but I'm just going to check, because that would make a difference. Only 1 feat per die is allowed. So we can do 2 feats. I'm going to sacrifice... Oh, no, because if I sacrifice another XP, I would go down to only having 1 die. So really, I can only do 1. Here we go. Oh, 3. That's 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Spider Queen is on 4 HP. And then because we rolled a 5 on the dungeon die, that means we are getting 4 damage. And that is the end of us. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a second. I'm going to retcon that. Because you can also use 1 potion per round of combat, I believe. Let's just double check. You may now use 1 potion available in your inventory. okay. And we have got, where's the potion details? Potions, frost. The monster does not attack this turn. Oh, so we can hit it with our frost potion, and that means we don't receive those 2 points of damage. We are just about getting away with it here. Oh, 1 point of damage from poison, taking us down to 1 HP. And we're doing 4 points of damage, which is killing the Spider Queen. Exactly the amount of damage that we needed to kill the Spider Queen. And our Crusader is only on 1 HP. So that is about as close to defeat as we possibly could have gotten. But we're living to fight another day. So if we look at the back, we need to spend 1 food. We're going to limp down to floor 3, where we're almost certainly going to meet our grisly end. And I'll reset the dungeon for the next level, which I really didn't think we were going to get to. It's a mini rogue miracle. If I didn't have that frost potion, that would have been the end. So this is the catacombs. Each of the floors has a name. This is the catacombs, and this is the penultimate floor before we get down to the sunken keep, where Og's remains has to be faced. But we've got 3 levels to make our way through here, so confidence is not high, and we're straight in on a trap. Ooh, and we're still poisoned, so if we roll 1 poison, we're dead. And there it is. There's the poison. Oh, and we rolled a double 6, a double success. Oh, that's a shame. I really thought we had got a bit of luck there and that we were going to make it a little bit further. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. There you go, folks. That is Mini Rogue, a fantastic little game. I will be bringing it back to the channel very soon in order to show you some of the expansion material that I've got already. And as I said, hopefully the new stuff that was kickstarted earlier this year will make its way to retail, at least some of it, and then I can get some more to show to you. But if you enjoyed that video, let me know in the comments below. Please do like this video if you got this far, it really does help, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more adventures just like this one. Thanks for watching, folks. See you in the next video. Bye for now.